let me just finish sending out these messages. The messages saying we're live. Uh, I just realized in my messages I says playing with more Avowed. Whoops. Oh well. Hmm. Okay. Alright, let's start. Gonna run around Paradise a bit and turn in some of the side quests I did yesterday. For talking to the ambassador and moving along with the main quest. There we go. I wonder why that wasn't actually showing me offline, but it was giving me all my stats and stuff, huh? I just realized I didn't actually eat my Pop-Tarts yet. Oh boy, so I'm probably going to be munching on those throughout the stream. Oh, I'm over encumbered. Stash, 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 stash. There you go, that should give me... How's my health doing? Oh, good. Starting off strong. St. William's farmer become God. The mention of the name Wade Win, most folks think of only one word, Godhammer. While these events echo through the ages, is still felt years after the destruction of Boyd Duern Bridge, Wing's humble beginnings belie a powerful force he would grow into. Lived in unassuming life in a remote area of fantasy name, the son of a boreless farmer. He toiled in the fields alongside his father for 22 years until his father's death. The farm then fell to him. He considered selling but had no other skills upon which to draw, so he set the path of Polish farmers as well. Nothing of note was recorded, there's no space in there, in William's life until 4 years after his father's death. One day while working the fields, William's life was irrevocably changed. In his words, night was falling, the fingers of dusk already gripping the sky. The sun had dipped behind the world's edge, and stars were peeking from beyond the shroud. The day was still, and darkness had blanketed the field. I placed my last harvest of the day into the collection pile when from behind me arose a bright light. I turned, fear in my breast, knowing not what could have caused such intense radiance. Behind me stood a blazing figure, resembling in glory. In its white flesh glowed with a luminescent radiance. Its head a blinding ball of light brighter than the highest sun of mid-year. Burned my gaze, afraid I would be struck down for daring to gaze upon such a creature. A sudden peace washed over me, sweeping away my fear, leaving my troubled soul tranquil. A loving warmth wrapped its arms around me. A voice spoke to me as I stood transfixed, trying to both see this glorious being and avoid its dazzling scrutiny. Fear not, it said to me, for you are chosen above all others. You'll be the light to bring about the rebirth of an empire. It then held out its hand and bestowed upon me a vision of power such that I could scarcely contain it. Wadewinds, disheveled and dirty, stumbled in the village the next morning, telling all who would listen about the miracle that had happened in his field. Atheos himself, he claimed, had appeared to him. He was to punish the Adrian governor for leading his people into ruin. A way would be provided, and those faithful who helped would be blessed when the divinity manifested. Villagers ignored him, convinced the loss of parents had broken his mind. But Wadewind continued to preach of the power of Athos and the corruption of the governor, eventually earning him the ire of the locals. His confrontation with the villagers hit a turning point one day in mid-autumn. A crowd had gathered around William, jeering him and telling him to leave the village. The boreless crop that season was particularly light, and the villagers blamed Woodwind, saying he had angered the gods, particularly Athos, with his blasphemy. They backed him into one of the withered fields, yelling at him to go. Accounts of the inciting actions are hazy. Some say a stone was thrown, others say he was pushed, others still say he simply tripped over a dry root sticking from the ground. Regardless of the cause, Wyndham landed face down on the ground, the villagers standing over him laughing. Enough, a voice said. Not Wyndham's boomed across the field. Wyndham looked up at the crowd, his eyes glowing with a blinding white light. He stood but did not stand. One moment he was on the ground, the next he was standing before the crowd. He who cowered before him. You dare deny me, the voice spoke through Woodwin's mouth. You dare refuse my servant? Woodwin's arms raised, beginning to luminance. You dare require proof? His arms went out to his sides. Never ask again, lest you be burned in the light of the new dawn. There was a flash of light in Woodwin's eyes and hands, and the entire field sprang to life. The once dry and brittle plants became full, lush, and verdant. The crowd was silent. From somewhere in the back came a call of praise, Athos. And then they all fell to their knees in front of Woodwin. Farmer turned God. Spine of the book bears a stamp designated as part of the restricted collection in the Hall Obscured. It appears to have been stolen. Every page is filled with closely packed writing and illustrations. One page reads, St. Woodin pursed his lips and stared down the glowy glowering visage which peered at him between stalks of borless. He gripped the wooden shaft of his scythe, slick with sweat in his palm, hands of the working man which he was. Then you're Atheos, then he said. That I am, said the god. You already know what I want, said the farmer who was Woden. That I do. Woden unknotted the taut cord which restrained his ponytail and let the flowering locks cascade around his shoulders and rest over the shelf of his bosom. He winked and cleared his throat before winking again. I got a candle, hasn't been lit properly. Aether moves closer in. The pasture cuts off abruptly with a series of jagged notes pressed deeply into the parchment. Era is not ready for this. How do I live with no consolation? When you left the world, I was emptied of divinity. I am a slave now to desire for it. I am unmoored from space and time. I'm a body persistent until it's gone. Nothing is that what he wanted me to become.
Ah, it's you. I have prayed over what you said, that I should travel to the Deadfire and help put right all that Aethys destroyed. I will do it, and I will pursue it with the fullness of my attention through the last of my days. Before I leave this place, I was hoping you might tell me, what became of my statue?
I saved it for my own purposes.
Oh, I hope you know what you are doing.
Not really, no.
I have to believe that is for the best. Thank you for releasing me from this burden. For the first time in decades, I feel light. I hope we will meet again, my friend. If not in this life, then the next.
Goodbye, Sargamus.
I fear you have a long and difficult journey ahead, Envoy of Adir. I leave you with my blade.
Sniper. Good. I'm doing good.
I do not need it any longer.
Not as good as my Dawn of Winter.
I never thought I'd be so relieved to see Paradise.
Thanks, Sniper. It's really good to hear that. I'm glad you enjoyed them as well.
That's one for us.
Thank you, Sniper. I will keep it up. I don't have any plans of stopping ending anytime soon. Alright, let's go turn in some of my smaller... let's go turn in some of my other quests. then talk to the ambassador. Move along with the main quest.
Hey, it's the envoy.
Envoy, hey!
I swear, I owe you the world.
I own the world. He saved my life, remember?
Yeah, you only told me about 100 times.
Hey, where's Yeda? Is everyone else on the way?
I'm afraid not.
No.
Oh, gods. Does he mean...
They didn't make it, Offric. I'm sorry.
But you
Yeah,
saved Cadman.
give me a
You couldn't
minute.
save them? Or you didn't try?
What happened?
I can't understand this.
Hey, Offric, hey, listen. We always knew that was a risk, right? And we told ourselves.
Better to go out at the bottom of the world or the top. And dying in bed like Granda, asking what if.
Did you avenge them? Is the Oracle dead?
Depends how you define dead.
You know what? Don't ask.
At least they got justice.
And I got my brother back.
Don't be a baby. You would have been fine without me.
What I mean to say is, we're grateful, Envoy.
What's next for you two?
Ambassador Heelguard has written to Expedition Command back in High Crown to see if they'll let us come home.
Well, while we wait for their reply, I thought...
Wait. Let me guess. Mermaid's Den.
You told him?
It was a moment of weakness. I thought I was dead. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to give you this. It belonged to our grandfather. He'd always wanted to join the Corps, but life got in the way. When we were recruiting, he gave it to us to remind us to live well.
How do you decide who gets to wear it?
We take turns. Cadman had it last, so he gets to decide what we do with it.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sure you've got big envoy things to do.
I don't know if you heard, but there's a plague on and everything.
If you're ever in High Crown, look us up.
Yeah, we can drink to the Corps together.
Yeah, well, take care, you two.
I wish things had turned out better for the rest of their crew, but I'm glad they made it. One of them may even get a happy ending.
Okay. Bring the luminous Adra. Right, one sec. Alright, accepted.
My friend, any chance you found some luminous Adra for me?
Yes, I hope you can put it to good use.
Thank you. Thank you! Now my work can continue. Take this. I was saving it for a rainy day, but who knows when that will be.
Best of luck, my
And
friend.
to you as well, my wonderfully unique friend. May you find a kinship with this land.
Give me. Drinking potion clears all your... So you kind of think that I just noticed it's nighttime. I don't think I noticed a day or night cycle here yet. Alright, let's turn in the bounties.
Welcome back, Envoy. Show it here.
Here's the ogre.
Remind me not to get on your bad side, Envoy.
Tempt you, miss.
Guess you were just the one storm she couldn't survive.
And the yellow bands.
It's a shame it had to be like this. Desperate times can drive good kith to do terrible things. Well, I'll be. That's all of the bounties. Mighty fine work, Envoy. Mighty fine indeed. Hope you're proud of all you've done. Thanks to you, Don Shore is safer for all of us. Gods protect you, wherever you are.
Hey, you could have a real future here if the Envoy thing doesn't work out.
Okay, what do you give me? The Kith Warder. Oh, and level up. Dexterity. Attributes. Here. Wand Mastery. Finally, you got yourself something. Go. Let's see. I wanna map the living lands quick.
The Adherents have come quietly. They will not take us by force, but with rule and charter.
You're back. What have you found?
I found Gurmund. He's dead, but his map of Donshar looks complete.
I warned Gilmund about those Zaribs. It was Zaribs, wasn't it? Oh, on second thought, don't tell me. Please, keep searching. I'm sure the others will turn up soon.
Weapon, shield? Oh, I can actually afford that too, wow. Sell valuables. Go to stash. Yeah, and I want to keep at least one of everything for right now. Oh, I got unique. Okay. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's go report to the ambassador. Alright, Ambassador, I've avoided you long enough.
You died. But you're here. Gods, am I glad to see you.
Oh god. Alright, looks like we're gonna avoid you a little bit longer, and we'll talk to Garrick beforehand. But yeah, there's a lot, it's like a lot of reading in here. Long has renowned Cartographers Guild served the emperors and queens of Aedir. It is we who are responsible for the creation and distribution of the many maps throughout the Empire. Whether to direct travelers throughout the expanse, that is Aedir, guide ship captains on the voyage throughout Aeora, or simply adorn the walls of an aristocrat's home, one can rest assured the Cartographer Guilds stand the creation of every one of those works of art. For over 2 centuries since the noble expedition corps discovered the Eastern Reach, have we worked and labored to keep all of the Empire and her colonies supplied with accurate, high-quality maps. God's willing, we will continue to do this for centuries yet to come. Come on. That's right, it's X, not A. Whoops. Aedir is a country rich with customs that are known for their strict adherence to them. Their customs run the gamut from grand celebrations like the Feast of Feast to the mundane superstitious, such as the way to avoid Sav addiction. The volume will focus primarily on the bigger celebrations, as no one knows how to throw an extravagant party quite like the Endearin. The Feast of Feasts. The biggest and most important of all Endearin custom is the Feast of Feasts. A week-long celebration happens the first week of Fonsu, Deep Summer, and is dedicated to honoring the life of the first Vernick. I have no idea. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. Each day of the week is devoted to some aspect of the first life, and there are a very specific dishes to be served at each meal. The Feast of Feasts originally began as a festival celebrating the birth of the first son, and soon to become a yearly occurrence during the week of his birthday. Currently, Adirians simply use an excuse for partying and pull out all the stops in an effort to outdo the previous year. Unless you wonder as I did, which current is honored during the Feast of Feasts, it is always the current fur. For each fur is the first and only fur. Sweet treat. A special custom that arose at some point during the Feast of Feasts. Sweet treat started as a way to keep children occupied so the parents could dine in peace. While it is still used for that today, significance has been added to it. Each treat is placed in a container, usually small metal boxes, and hidden somewhere on the property. After everything has been hidden, the children are sent out to find the treasures. It is said now that the hidden treats represent Glanfarthan's artifacts, and the children are the explorers bringing the riches back to their new and rightful owners. Carnival of Masks. When the original colonists of Adir traveled to the new land and found the dry wood in the name of Adirian fur, they encountered the Glanfanthan people. The Carnival of Masks celebrated this meeting. Originally, it was merely a formal reenactment as a play of the tensions between the Glyphurns and the Erden settlers, but it has since evolved into much more than that. Participants choose sides and come dressed in elaborate outfits depicting which group they have decided to align themselves with, Adirians or Glenfarrans. Everyone attends a masquerade ball, and the party replaces any semblance of the play that was presented. Winter's End. Winter's End was never anything more than an excuse for celebration, and it hasn't changed in all the years it has existed in Nadir. It takes place during winter, dusk, and lasts all 3 days. People use the time to reflect on the year, celebrate their lives, and remember the dead, especially those who have passed in recent years. Origin of the Adir Empire, Part 1. In approximately 2200, a group of tribes called the People of the Deer unified into a civilization called the Adir Kingdom. The tribes, small and widespread over the land, knew it would be better for their continued existence to unify. The leaders of each tribe became advisors to the king, chosen by the group. Each advisor would still be a lord over his people, but each lord would answer to the Farkoning, first king, Farkoning. Farkoning. The decision was exactly what was needed in the Adirian kingdom thrived, spreading across the land, establishing strong trade routes. The Adirians became known as fair but shrewd businessmen, while the country thrived and internally, there was little strife. There were still the occasional skirmishes with the neighboring elven kingdoms of Kuklin. Not long after the kingdom was formed, the Adirian people began to study animancy, still largely unknown at the time. Animancy was an exciting, terrifying new realm, and the Adirian scholars saw great potential. The potential came to bear fruit in 2260 when a group of animancers working together transferred a soul of a recently departed man into another body, creating the first of what would later be known as the undead. The reaction to the discovery was swift and decisive. Both the king of Adir and the Church of Wodica condemned the event, and the study or practice of animancy was outlawed. It would never be practiced again openly on Nadiran soil. Conflicts with Kulin continued, escalating into a minor war in 2398. Afterwards, a treaty was signed and the Kingdom of Adir merged with Kukulin to form the Adir Empire. With the political and military strife now settled, the Adir Empire would become an economic powerhouse, able to acquire and generate resources that were difficult to obtain in other parts of the world. The Empire's trade route became one of the most lucrative in the world. Ambassador. I have maintained order and parity for many years now. I know the city. When there is a good leader and fair policy, there is peace. But you have allowed the steel growth to terrorize my people, to sow distrust and fear. I suggest you tighten your Inquisitor's leash, or the embassy might not carry your banners for long. Awfully convenient that he died to that bear then. Steel Grove Pro. We found this book beneath a public bench. After carefully studying, our scribe confirmed the handwriting matches the signature found in the Tyrian chaotic orb. He advised that Tyrian in the Living Lands, as a member of the Circle of Archmagi, he is licensed to go where he pleases. We observe him at a distance, but no one is to engage him. Tyrian is either a harmless fool or one of the most dangerous people alive. We simply can't take that chance, huh? Dear Diary, here I am in the Living Lands. This island might not be the safest vacation spot, but certainly the most colorful, also the most flavorful according to the mushrooms, and mushrooms seldom lie. Before I forget, I promise Bakrana I'd bring back a souvenir. There's rumors of fallen star in Emerald Stair. Could be a nice addition to our collection. A message is scribbled on the inside corner. I found a place. If found, please return to Tyrion Archmage, author of Tyrion's Chaotic Orb. The Enduring Empire Part 2, Expanding Borders. In 2602, Enduring explorers returned from over oceans, telling tales of ruins and treasure that are there, and of extensive fields perfect for growing vorlas. The explorers warned the fair Colin that the locals were not friendly to outsiders, but Fair Colin, seeing this as an opportunity to extend his empire, secure trade on another continent, sent more explorers. Over the next 20 years, the area would become the Drier Woods was investigated, mapped, and colonized. In 2623, the first permanent Adirian colony settlement was established. Fullest fields were set up north of the forest in the Drier-wood, but between the conflicts with the Deathlians and the War of the Broken Stone, it floundered. It wasn't until 2643 that the opportunity presented itself. Some Eorzean pilgrims wanting to escape prosecution established colony and Vorless farming operations in the territory of Ritsik, the Grand Villa, on the verge of collapse. The Perconian wanted to ensure his hold on the purple dye trade would be established. He encouraged the settlement and even paid to have the pilgrims set up in the New World. Because the Fairconian was still trying, the king, let's go with that, what is supposed to be the first king, because the first king was still trying to secure his name in the purple dye trade, he was unable to properly respond to Adamith Hadrid when he issued his ultimatum to avoid the rebellion and leave himself time to overseas the Volus farms in Retica. The first king relented and made Adamith a Gef Palatin, whatever that means, in return for the In session, Adam has spent time and resources on the Dryerwood's trade and shipping routes, befitting the first king with increased income. For 7 years, the Dryerwood provided Adir with a steady income, leaving the first king time to ensure his trade system in Retica was strong. With the first king's attention elsewhere, Adamoth instituted the 10 years treaty ending slavery in Dryerwood and permanently removing one of the revenue sources provided by the Direwoodian explorers. The artifact from the ruins scattered throughout the Direwood. At this point, the first king word meant almost nothing to the citizens of the Direwood. Adamoth Hardit had replaced him as their true leader. In order to undermine Adam's standing, the first king found allies willing to explore the ruins against the treaty conditions and plunder them. Soon Adir again had a supply of artifacts to sell. When his agents were eventually caught, the first king distanced himself from the operation, certain there was no way to link him to the proceedings, but the grift, using means provided to him by the Geflian allies, discovered evidence needed to prove the first king was behind the plunder. The conflict that arose from the revelation led to Adamoth declaring independence from Direwood in 2668. After a bloody 4-year-long war that resulted in the death of Adamoth, the first king relented, trying to keep control of the Direwood had become too costly. He signed treaties with the new Duke of the Direwood and turned his attention to Redicus, redoubling efforts on the Volus trade, which is still running today. Alright, old friend.
None of the clerks believe my story. You've got some god looking out for you.
I was hoping for a
Envoy, hello. I'm glad to see you on your feet. Kai.
Tej.
I'm surprised they let you in here.
I'm surprised you're still gainfully employed.
Do we have a problem here?
I didn't mean anything by it, Envoy. He's just curious company for you to keep.
Hey, somebody has to have the envoys back, because you all sure didn't.
No one expected the Envoy to get assassinated.
Exactly. Amateurs.
I think there's more to this story.
Well,
Kai?
come on, it's funny. Tej caused a ruckus last time he was slumming it at the Ballarrock. You were trying to kill a man, if I remember right. I had to put you outside.
You threw me into the canal.
You lived.
That water's filthy. I had the runs for 3 days.
Gods, Tej. The envoy doesn't need to know that.
Do you really try to kill someone, Teague?
The fellow cheated me. I couldn't let that slide. Or he'd think we were all marks.
It was over a dice game, right? Tej here has a gambling problem.
Great. Let's air all my troubles. Is there anything else?
The bartender sleeping with your girlfriend.
You're lying.
You sure about that?
We'll talk about this later.
I'm not breaking up with her for you. Just so we're clear.
That's more than enough. Thank you. Was there anything I could help you with, Envoy?
I'm not gonna push things. I was hoping you might answer some questions.
Naturally, sir. How can I help you?
The Emperor didn't have time to brief me on the living rounds. What do I need to know?
There's a lot of ground to cover. Could you be more specific?
How do living lands and Adir compare on the map?
Ah, the age-old question. Who's bigger? Adir is, naturally, by a wide margin. And were we at the Cartographers Guild in High Crown, I could show you on one of their globes. As it is, we must make do in the theater of our minds.
Where are they in relation to Adir?
The Living Lands are located in the far north of Aora. Adir is southwest of the Living Lands, situated along the equator.
How about the weather terrain? I need to know what to expect.
The Living Lands are more arid than Adir, and the island is more prone to storms. But its many deep valleys protect the various townships from the worst of the weather. Topographically speaking, the Living Lands are a place of extremes. Deep inland, mountains rise high enough to rival those of the White March, blanketed year-round in snow. While east of the volcano of Mount Forja is an acid sea that sinks far below the level of the ocean. The lands between them are riven with deep clefts in the earth and isolated by wastelands of sun-baked sand dunes.
Other questions.
I'll share what I can.
Who's in power here?
There is no singular authority in the Living Lands.
Not yet, anyway.
I shudder to think what the Living Lands would look like under your rule.
Well, to start, there'd be a lot more brothels.
Charming. Power is invested in the leaders of the various townships scattered across the island. The largest are Fjord, Thirdborn, and Solace. None of which, I will note, are as safe and orderly as Paradise.
What should I know about Fjord?
Fjord Messeverno is located in a valley known locally as the Emerald Stair, named for the terraced rice paddies that cover its hillsides. It is our closest neighbor. The city, if you can call it that, was founded 50 years ago by animancers from the Valian Republics. Apparently, the laws governing animancy weren't lenient enough in the Republics. So the city's founders came to the Living Lands, where they could practice their discipline more freely. Currently, Fjord is governed by a man named Ignacy Vidaro. Rather inept to hear the ambassador talk about him. Fjord's farmers supply most of the grain and vegetables we eat here in Paradise. Or it did. Their shipments have been infrequent lately. Something about a blight in the fields. In any event, I believe that covers Fjord.
I don't know much about the republics.
The Valian Republics are a collection of city-states in the Eastern Reach, southeast of our former colony, the Deerwood. The republics began life as colonies of the Grand Empire of Valia, hence the name. But as Grand Valia's economy collapsed, well, the colonies saw an opportunity to escape the influence of the Empire of Origin, and they seceded, much as the Deerwood did from Adir. Now a mature confederation in their own right, the republics have recently indulged their own expansionist ambitions in the Deadfire Archipelago. Through their merchants in the Valian Trading Company, the republics will sell you anything you could ever wish to buy.
Up to and including people.
We should count ourselves lucky to have had no interest in the Living Lands. In a struggle between our Emperor and the Republic's great dukes, well, I doubt we would come out on top. But if anyone asks, I was not the one who told you that.
What's the story with Thirdborn?
Everything you need to know about Thirdborn is in its name. It was founded by the third-born children of Rawatai, Navy dropouts, smugglers, and hands for hire. Almawa and Orleans, mostly.
Home, sweet home.
You're free to go back any time you like.
I like my current circumstances just fine, thanks.
They are a people, in short, who couldn't cut it in the civilized world, and had to make room on the margins. Unfortunately, they are currently besieged by the Dream Scourge. We have sent some troops to lend what help we can, and the mayor, Temerity, was appropriately grateful, but I don't know how long they'll hold out.
Did I understand no more about the Ratatai?
Rawatai is one of the old empires, every bit as storied as Grand Valia or our native Adir. If Adir is to the southwest of the Living Lands, Rawatai is to the southeast. And unlike our home, their small continent is racked by terrible storms. This is due, or rather was due, to the island's proximity to Andra's mortar, the unending super hurricane that once hid the ancient city of Okaizo. Rawatai is largely peopled by Aumaua, descended from those who fled the Deadfire Archipelago centuries ago, when Andra pulled the moon, Ioni Brather, into the sea. They are an aggressive, militant culture, and personally, I find their obsession with gunpowder rather quaint. They are also our chief rivals on the world stage.
I don't think they see it that way.
No?
Well, as far as Navy brass is concerned, Adir doesn't really rate.
Now you're just making things up.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but we don't think about you at all.
What can you tell me about Solis?
Solace is...
Solace.
What is there to say, really?
Yeah, they tend to have that effect on people.
The trouble is, I don't know much about Solace. Nobody does. They are an isolationist community of Pargrunan dwarves who live in the forbidding ways of Galawain's tusks. They don't let outsiders into their lands, and they don't let their people out of them.
Some folks get out from time to time, but they can't ever go back. And the ones who survive aren't eager to talk about their experiences.
People aside, the land itself is incredibly hostile. The island's volcano, Mount Forja, rests at the heart of the region, and it's recently become active.
Oh boy.
Half the land is lava rock, and the other half is, well, literally lava. I don't know why anyone lives there. I have to assume they're all insane.
You have no idea.
Well, can you tell me anything about the Peregrine Dwarfs?
Naturally. The Pargrunan are a unique community of mountain dwarves originating in Old Valia. As a people, they've made their name as explorers, builders, miners. No doubt you've seen their ruins in your travels, here, back home in Adir, and all across the world. They maintain a rich tradition of oral storytelling, chanted magics, and ritual carving, which they take great pains to record and transmit across their various communities. Even the most physically isolated Pargrun is not alone. Somewhere, one of their people is thinking of them and planning an expedition. Abidan must cherish them.
You sound like you admire them.
I suppose I do.
Alright, something else then.
By all means.
Tell me about Inquisitor Lodwin.
Consider yourself lucky. Inquisitor Ludwin is the commander of the Steel Garrote in Paradise. Were you to ask her, she'd say she keeps the peace. But she doesn't keep it so much as prosecute it. As ruthlessly as the ambassador will let her. She's also a veteran of the Steel Garrote's campaign in the Deadfire, where she died.
She's a Death Guard. Well, that explains a lot.
I don't know what happened to her there, but I suppose Wodica wasn't done with her yet.
Oh boy. We have a Death Guard standing over the archives at Berengo.
Cryptic Neil! I remember him fondly.
How do you manage to remember him?
I took every upper-level course the university offered on memory and recall to circumvent the Walian glamour on him. And even then, it only barely worked. I had to look at him out of the corner of my eye and half cross them while thinking of something dreadfully boring like, grimoire repair. On the upside, it's made me an exceptional clerk. But that's neither here nor there. We were discussing Death Guards.
Right, tell me about them.
Death Guards are surpassingly rare. Some of the secretaries who traveled with our dignitaries in the Deadfire spoke of one named Iser, a devotee of Berith, who guards the hanging sepulchres there. But I have heard of none others except those I've read about in the histories. They are people, most often paladins or priests, so devoted to a cause that they simply refuse to pass on to the wheel when they die. Their soul haunts their body. The passion required to sustain them devours their flesh, and they swiftly turn to bone. I've never read a history nor tale of a Death Guard that did not end with them going quite mad. When they lose their capacity to care for anything but their cause, they cannot love. And when they cannot love, they cannot be merciful. And so everything before them becomes only an obstacle.
What was Lulin like before she became a Death Guard?
I only met her once. She was a mid-level member of the Steel Garrote then, chasing Oathbreakers who'd fled Adiran law. She'd come back to the Imperial Archives to borrow a map to a place called Oathbinder's Sanctum. I remember she was furious because the map was quite poor. She worried about finding the place, about properly executing her duty to her god. She wanted, I think, to do a good job. So, while clearly she has changed, in some sense, I'd say she's much the same.
What do you know about the Steel Garrote?
Think upon your promises and die. That's the litany of the Steel Garrote, usually said right before they kill you. They're an order of paladins born and bred in Adir, though clearly they've found plenty of work beyond our borders. Their remit is simple but comprehensive. They punish all who break their oaths. In practice, that has historically meant contracts. One lord or merchant will hire the Steel Garrote to bring a duplicitous rival to justice.
Fun bunch. What are they doing in Paradise?
Since the events in the Deadfire, their operations have expanded. The Steel Garrote has always been associated with Wodica. Now, they are explicitly her order. And they go wherever Wodica's priests, or Wodica herself, believes there is a need for them to go. The Living Lands are a dangerous, lawless frontier in sore need of order. Thus, they are here. Or so the Steel Garrote say.
Wodica, goddess of vengeance, Lulin chosen a challenging patron.
Do you think so? I've always found her inflexibility comforting. Wodica's edicts are clear. If you obey her laws, pursue justice, punish the guilty, and give fealty to the Emperor, then you have pleased her, and I aim to please. But Wodica does not trust. She demands that you declare yourself for her again and again. Her every request is a test, and her every test is an opportunity to disappoint her. I appreciate a god who makes you work for their grace. I don't want anything given to me for free. Of course.
What else? Met the Watcher, strange experience. I'd like to... yeah, sure.
Oh, I hope it wasn't that charlatan in Hightown. She's an absolute menace. That the militia puts up with her is a testament to how unfit they are to run this city. Right. Not what you asked. Anyway, Watchers are individuals capable of perceiving souls. The soul may be in a living body, or it may simply be lingering, waiting to pass into the in-between. In either case, interacting with a soul allows a Watcher to glimpse a person's past lives or their most deeply buried memories. Watchers are incredibly rare, and in Adir, highly controlled. Many people wish to know who they were in a previous life, and do not like what they learn.
Apparently, I've been accepted for the playtest in Engine Fall. I'll see if there's any... if they don't want me streaming any of the playtests first, but I might just stream that soon. What happens to Watchers in Adir?
The smart ones stay hidden. They do not announce their powers, perhaps not even to themselves. Even a careful Watcher risks inadvertently revealing themselves by knowing something they shouldn't know. Of the ones that are public, little is concretely known. But we hear things. They make good judges in Wodica's courts, so long as they're controlled. The lords, it's rumored, buy and sell them to collect blackmail on their enemies. But I suspect many Watchers are imprisoned or executed, or simply kill themselves.
A Watcher's dangerous?
A Watcher doesn't need your cooperation or consent to read your soul. They could learn everything about you, terribly damaging things about your parentage, for example, or things you did in a past life, without you ever knowing. You see how this could threaten the established order, undermine our betters' right to rule.
Yeah, but that's just one side to it. Imagine how a Watcher feels, knowing what a threat they are to the status quo. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't be keen on kings and emperors wanting me dead. Sounds like a lot of hassle.
Don't sell yourself short, Kai. I don't doubt you're an expert in people wanting you dead.
You're not wrong.
I rarely am. In any case, the Watcher is fundamentally a tragic figure. Of the few that survive our world, most are destined to go mad.
Could I become a Watcher? I don't think so. I believe there's something innate about it, but...
Yes and no. So far as I understand it, a Watcher is born a Watcher. But it takes an event, often something shocking or traumatic, to bring a Watcher's powers to the fore. So you may be a Watcher, or I may be, or Kai, and we might not even know.
Are any famous Watchers I should know about?
Well, the Watcher of Cadnua is legendary. It was their castle Aethys destroyed when he began his campaign of terror in the Dead Fire. Oh, by the Queen, I hope I get to meet them someday. In terms of local interest, you'll have heard of Rune,
right, the protagonist of the game.
And there was Ida. You may not know about her. She was a Watcher from the Living Lands. I believe she was an Orlan. She must have died, 150 years ago. Slain by a great serpent, gods treat kindly with her soul. Doubtless there are others, but... most don't meet a good end.
Alright.
I'm an open book.
Ambassador Secretary? What's he like?
Well, you'll notice I'm nearly always here. If that man sleeps, I don't know about it. He wouldn't say, but I believe he relied on the Claviger far more than he lets on. And without the Claviger's steady hand at the rudder, the ambassador's struggling just to bail water from the sinking ship that is Paradise.
Claviger Aemon might have tolerated a little more chaos than the ambassador liked, but he kept this place humming. He's not someone you can easily replace, and not with one man alone.
It's a difficult job. The pressure sometimes gets the better of him. But if he loses his temper now and then, I can't blame him for it. Better him than me.
What's it like when he's not working?
He doesn't know what to do with himself. You know, in our first days here, he'd often walk to the end of the docks at sunrise. The work was done, the embassy was closed, and he'd still be wearing the same clothes he'd slept in at his desk. And he'd just stare out over the sea. He always seemed dissatisfied back then. I suppose, years later, he still does.
You want his job?
Be serious. Most of us here didn't get sent to the frontier because we were anybody's favorite. The longer I'm here, the more likely the people who matter are to forget me. And I'd actually like to get back to High Crown someday. Get married, have a few kids, take the civil exams, and settle into a permanent clerkship.
I guess there are worse ways to spend a life.
Like
Simple.
rotting in this embassy.
Simple. Nothing wrong with that. That's it.
Should you ever need me, I will be here. Safe travels, Envoy.
Okay.
Envoy, is it really you?
Unsent letter. Claviger Aemon. I know the blighting the Strangle is cause for concern. I must strongly discourage any trade deal that involves buying additional corpse from Fair Messet, Ivory, Ivanor, whatever. We cannot endorse the blasphemy trade of animancy, much less welcome to our dinner tables. Letter to the Inquisitor. I have been in the Emerald Sphere long enough to confirm our worst suspicions. The people of Fior care not for the laws of mortal gods. Animancy and folk magic are peddled in defiance of Wodoka. The crimes are innumerable, the way of life intolerable. All is not lost. Politically, they are unstable, too focused on themselves to notice us. Our eager hands tightening the garrote. We await your order. Deeran dialects. The sun does not set in the Deeran language. Those of us who commune with this proud language or some deviation, I guess, of it, populate every corner of Eora. Most of us who speak this wonderful tongue know it as a Deeran, but scholars and those assessed with correctness often qualify it as a modern or contemporary Deeran. This is to contrast the language you and I speak today with Eldadiran, the old Elven language that was spoken in the Adiran Empire back before the pioneer settlers of Drywood built their longship. If Eldadiran could be considered the mother of living Adiran, the language of Hellspeak could be seen as Adiran's cousin. Hellspeak is fading from common use, but many of the elves, specifically the older ones in the Adiran heartland, still use its dialect. Whether you know it or not, if you can read these words, you can understand Hillspeak. It is almost identical to Adiran, but includes a large vocabulary of archaic words that have fallen out of use in today's Adiran. When you hear bards sing old Adiran poems, there are often lines and choruses that sound like melodic nonsense inserted to complete rhymes. These are usually instances of words that are lost from the common language but still used in Hillspeak. Now, Hillspeak is familiar to speakers of so-called modern Adiran. The same cannot be said of the language predecessor. Eldadiran is a dead language spoken by academics but not used in major community. Eldadiran words are often familiar to Adiran readers, but the words use orthography that has since been abandoned. Unfamiliar accent marks abound. For example, Eldadiran contains some diphthongs that have no place in the modern Adiran, as well as a few tricky consonant clusters. EA creates an Aya sound that sounds like a composition of Heya. Eos, Ao. This sound still used in the modern word of Eora. EY is pronounced Ae, E, such as in Wraith. UE and U with two dots both create the oo sound in loop. Y sounds like E. GJ sounds like the consonant Y as in U. Good God. CS sounds like sh. So you pronounce shop like shop. CG sounds like ditch. End of the word like hedge. Is uncommon for given names of Iridan and Starwoods to come from Eldseek. For example, Alduin is pronounced Aldwin because of the long vowel sound on the Y. Durst is pronounced Durnish since the final SC cluster sounds like the sh sound. Yester is pronounced Yester on the account of the JG. Sledge. Thirish, I guess, is pronounced. Ushgrim, or Uskgrim. Injamar, leading with the vowel sound. What do we got here? His journal, I must admit, it's proving impossible to build diplomatic relationships. Locals have a natural distrust of outsiders, and we have nothing they want. Inquisitor Ludwin believes that time and pressure will prevail. With that, I share her confidence. Ludwin, under her gaze, I feel scrutinized down to the bone. Picked apart like Karen. and stared through by a pair of cold, motionless eyes that have glimpsed too far beyond the veil, reducing me to some depraved pilgrim who prays only for his ossified claws to work their way under my skin, liberating me from this pathetic envelope until at last we are bound together in a skeletal pair, limbs intertwined, not as two beings, but as one. There is no shame in being attracted to power. Nevertheless, I must keep such feelings to myself, lest they be met on revulsion or worse, enthusiasm. Okay, that's all that reading. Ambassador!
I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel?
Vigorous as a drake in rut.
Not even death can slow you down, I see. But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. Captain Cynric said you have a missive for me from the Emperor.
Yes, here. Yeah, here.
Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness. At least someone understands the gravity of our situation.
His Majesty is concerned the Crown efforts in the Living Lands could be jeopardized by the Dream Scourge.
With that, I have better news for him. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own.
That wouldn't surprise me.
No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles.
You're referring to how I healed the Aedra and the Strangle Root.
Well, not to mention your abrupt and untimely death. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the Dream Scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities.
I'll get to the bottom of the Dream Scourge, Ambassador, whatever it takes.
Thank you, Envoy. The island is in capable hands. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire.
And you're not?
At least rebels know the meaning of negotiation and compromise. But a plague kills indiscriminately. Though, even I must admit, the rebels have gone too far. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open.
It seemed to have it out for us specifically. Do you know why?
Something about a labor dispute gone wrong, I think. The Steel Garrote got involved, and it turned quite ugly.
A lot of disputes arise because people here have a strong aversion to being told what to do.
I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. If we can't even defend ourselves, how are we to defend the Living Lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisian rebels must face justice.
Where is this Inquisitor I keep hearing about?
Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the Living Lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise.
I'll consider him. Thanks for the recommendation.
I can tell you're skeptical, but remember that you're an outsider here, and a lot of Kith aren't exactly thrilled to see so many Adirans in their midst.
New weeds, a new beast in the tall grass. Predator or mate?
As you've seen firsthand, you could use some local help, especially if we really are after Paradisans.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. Oh, before you go, we received a report from Liviana about your condition. Apparently, you're in fine shape. Once your killer has been dealt with, you can come and go as you please. Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it.
Colleagues at the Imperial Archives are never gonna believe this.
You'll have tales aplenty, that's for certain. And a long tapestry of battle scars. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Balrog? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
I don't exactly... I don't disagree with you there, Kai.
Just need a little to get by.
I'm not gonna take a beggar's coin.
This may not be the prettiest part of town, but it's got the Grinning Balrog.
You saved my life. He would have killed me, and all for a few coins.
Think nothing of it. Any law-abiding citizen would have done the same. Nothing to see here, Envoy. The situation's under control.
Apparently, you need anything from
You
me?
can help us clean up these streets. I caught this waste of life mugging a protected citizen. I just did what came naturally.
I thought all Paradisans were protected citizens.
These things happen from time to time. Inquisitor Ludwine understands. I assume you do too.
Predicate couldn't pass judgment without having all the evidence.
Now that's what I like to hear. I leave you to your job, and you leave me to mine. You understand what it takes to maintain order. We're going to do great things with you around.
I'm not saying violence is never the answer, but she's a little too keen to deploy it.
Yeah. What else we got around here? Chest, nice. Alright, let's see. Copper and pelt. Some spoiled food. This will sell for a coin.
Don't go starting trouble.
So, you're the one they all crow about, eh? Best hunter and guide in all of Don... Ha! The mighty Marius, deep in his cups, ready to take on the deadliest prey, providing they're asleep at the time.
Right. Take another sip of my cool. Rude not to finish a drink someone bought for you.
No wonder you're hiding behind a mug. You're too worried about being polite to survive out there.
Casual friend, huh?
The dwarf there is Marius. Best tracker I know.
Interesting. Let's see how this plays out.
I heard you're from Solace Keep. How great a survivor could you be? Hiding behind stone walls all your life.
You don't know anything about me, you Adiran Nimdut. So maybe go back and take another blessed day sip.
Nimdude, a limber term for idiot or jackass, often used in a friendly manner among colleagues.
But
Okay.
here you are. Tell me, how does one get kicked out of a place that never lets anyone leave?
Duktek Drago Sakasapt Jitule. You wanna talk so much, I'll cut you a second mouth across your throat.
Shit, vulgar, yeah. Vulgar, luber. Okay, it's just swears. You know him. You think we should step in?
Marius can handle himself. Of course, if you're bored, we could always start something anyway.
Nah. Your friend looks like he's got it under control.
I think this is about to get interesting.
I knew you were blessed in Nimdut the moment I saw you coming. Thought maybe I'd teach you a lesson. So I paid the bartender a few gold to drop a tiny bit of Widow's Kiss into a cup and serve your drink in it. Cramp should be starting in a few minutes, so, if you want to fight, we should go ahead and get started.
Yeah, exactly. It's injected.
You know your stuff, but I doubt they do.
Envoy, you see? Will you stand by and allow this maniac to poison a fellow subject of the Emperor?
You'll survive as long as you run away. Now.
Oh, I can feel it. Gods. You.
Oh, that is quick. You better get to a healer before the poison spreads to your brain.
You wait, Marius. I'll be back.
Nice.
Hopefully.
Resolve conflicts peacefully.
You'll be okay. Just get it all out, Culver.
Well, that was something.
Marius, this is the infamous Adiran envoy. Envoy? Marius.
Well, any friend of Kai's is definitely a... person.
Yeah, what just happened? Widow's Kiss is only harmful if it's injected.
You know your poisons. It was a test. That guy's such a nim dude, he thought he was doomed. And he actually believed I could pay the bartender to poison someone's drink. Gods, the taverns in Adir must be rough.
Yeah, well played.
Right, that's the goal. If I'm not mistaken, you're looking for someone to help find the people who killed you.
Exactly, dude. Actually, yeah, how do you know that?
I've been keeping tabs on you since you got here. Godlike, looking like you do, and hauling Kai around like a sick puppy. I need to see the scene of the crime, over by the town gates. I promise there's something left there we can use to track them.
Like my blood? What would we be looking for at the town gates?
Bloodstains, footprints, darts left behind. If we find anything at all, we can find your assassins. We'll figure this out, Amakul. Don't you worry.
Amakul. Oh, yeah, right. I already looked that up. New companion. Known as the best hunter in the wilderness, guide in the Living Lands, Marcus has lived all over the Living Lands. There's no place he truly calls home. Marcus uses ancient stealth and survival techniques, gain advantage over his foes, trapping them in gripping vines or disappearing from sight to ambush them with a silent attack. His senses are attuned to detect threats and now just scattered across the Living Lands. Nice. Idiots. Let's see what the bartender, any good drinks or anything.
See, Marius? Told you I wasn't ready to hang it up yet.
I had it under control, Amakul. But thanks.
Ah, it's the principle of the thing. Now, what'll it be?
Oh. Who's Flint's voice actor? That sounds familiar. Avowed. David. Oh, yep. Yeah, he's David Patrick. Let's see, is who? Definitely recognize. I'll look it up later. Oops. Do you really let people use Sev openly here?
As opposed to what?
It's not for me to judge, just curious.
Some of my crewmates smoked it when I sailed with the Principe. Figured if any of them ever washed up here, they'd want a place to land.
I'm sure in what you know.
If you want information, I've got it. Just a matter of what you'll pay for it.
Alright, what can you tell me?
It's getting more expensive to bring produce in from Fjord. Whatever's going on, that doesn't bode well.
Alright. Let's not bother right now. Lockpicks, always useful. Alright. Hardtack. It's got some fine weapons. Fine. Firearms, but nah. I don't need any firearms currently. He wants to talk to me, so first thing first, level him up. Wounding shot, shadow step, heartseeker. Ooh, yeah, piercing, that's always nice. And binding roots. Binding deals stun. Ooh, yeah, stun's always good. Alright, let's go to the map and let's go set up camp here. Here we go. Yeah, I can cook. Select a recipe, cook from the left screen, result consumables, enhance specs in the middle. Alright. Alright, good. Okay, yeah. This, personally, I'd want something to do. Here we go. Mariner's porridge. Cook fish. Okay, let's cook. Yeah. Craft. Okay. I want something that will do both. So, stews... Yeah, stews and this porridge seem to be the best. Here's porridge does better. With some... what do we got a lot of? Not actually, I got a lot of different things, not a whole lot of specific things though. Here we go. Here, hardtack. All right. Stew. Just keep cooking this till I can't cook anymore. All right. Stews in the Mariner's Port seem to be the best, so...
What are you grinning about?
Let's go... Put that away. I want... Those... drinking potion, yeah, no... Alright, let's put all... Let's put all these away that don't... Yeah, these... Those... This stuff, yeah... Stuff I can use for... Stuff I can use for cooking, I'll keep. Take out those cabbages just so I can sell them.
I wasn't grinning.
Right. Well, stop it.
That's just how my face...
Enchantments, no.
Marius. Hey, you got something on your mind? Something you want to talk about?
Less... I want... What is it? Here we go. Let's take this pistol and take a look at it. Tier 2 needs stuff I don't have yet. Go upgrade the Grimoire. Not enough soft branches. Got enough Adra to upgrade that.
You're doing it now.
I should honestly start breaking extra stuff down instead of selling it.
You're being funny.
One tongue shy. Killing at any chance crackling bolt. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I think I'll...
Oh, gods. I'm just making it worse.
Okay.
No offense, but you leave a pretty wide trail, Envoy.
My assassins would probably agree with you.
You can ask them when we hunt them down. An Adyrn official who's new in town turns a lot of heads, especially when they're traveling with a Nimdude like Kai.
Kai said you knew each other from before.
Well, we've worked together in the past. It was mostly him crashing blindly through the weeds after I advised him not to. I'm here to find your assassins. Maybe help you avoid being killed again in the future. My guess is you'll need a guide once you leave Paradise, too. They say I'm the best there is.
You're welcome to join us.
Merci, Envoy. I'll make myself at home.
Okay.
Anyway, enough chat. I'm sure you have things to do. By the way, I never met that Orlin girl before in my life.
What Orlin girl?
You remember. The one in the camp in Shadow Peaks? With the thing on her head?
Oh, yeah. Nice eyes, chipped tooth. Thinking about her again, huh?
You thought we had a past or something. But I'd never seen her before in my life.
We could see her again if you want. I think she liked you.
Well, anyway, just wanted to clear that up. Yeah, a good talk.
Exit previous location. We'll talk to him more later. I want to move on a bit with the story quest. Maybe get to a new area. I doubt he's going anywhere. What's over here? More rotten food and a lockbox. Silver, agate, and some crafting supplies. Not bad. Nora, you got anything new to say after I helped them?
Envoy.
Nope.
I just don't get it. It's like there's something in the soil this year.
No one of note. How about you? Anything else to say? No? Think it's trigger. Oh, yeah, here we go.
One moment.
Right here. This is where the envoy fell.
If it were me, I'd take the shot from up there above the embassy. Let's see if we can get up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Probably the scaffolding over here. Yep.
Now, why would I want to leave a mark right by that pile of crates?
With any luck, your assassin would be as bad at hiding their tracks as they were at making sure you stay dead.
A bow. Nothing back here. get around out of here again. Right, over here, I believe. Let's see. That's not the way. You're different. More people here for me because it's not nighttime. I wonder, either you have a way?
I can't tell you how grateful I am that you survived the attempt on your life. But let's not dwell on
Who?
the courtesan. Interesting. I had my theories about a certain shipment of herbs.
Oh, her. Okay.
Let us also say that I know why and how these herbs are being used. And I assume you figured it out as well. Do you object?
No. You should finance her. Keeping her in business keeps the peace.
Shrewd thinking, envoy. Maybe you should be ambassador. So be it. I can't openly support Juliana's establishment, but I will pass along what funding I can. A rounding error in our books. Feel free to let her know the good news, but do try to keep my name out of it.
I'll be going. I was hoping... What about you? You got away in the room?
Envoy, glad to see you're still with us. How can I help you?
Nope.
Safe travels, Envoy.
Scaffolding doesn't work. What about... Yeah, there seems to be a path over here. Yeah, here we go. That way. Let's see. Nothing? I didn't think so. Normally see something in there if there is, but... What do we got here? Flask of poison. Flask is empty, but it reeks of swamp water and rancid berries.
Smells familiar, but I can't place it. Whatever it is, it's not used for game hunting or keeping beasts out of your garden. You already met the apothecary. I'd suggest we pay him another visit.
Seems like a good place to start.
Agreed. Session was ready for me. That's true. I wonder what that tells us.
It tells us they were hunting you. Whoever did this takes pride in their work. They made sure this stuff would kill you. Go back to the market and up the stairs to the east. You'll see a large building with a big window on top.
The Mermaid's Den. Nice place. We should say hello to Juliana while we're there.
The apothecary is in the back alley. Any luck? We could track down who made this poison. Find your killers.
Okay. Okay, let's see.
Alchemist Sapiento de Folva has perfected a potion that revitalizes plants. He seemed oddly disappointed by this result.
No, it'd be an expensive thing, though. I mean, I doubt Luminous Arjac, considering it's only available in the Deadfire, ain't exactly cheap. So, I doubt that's going to be a long-term thing. Administration District. Maybe another time I'll try making that jump. Since we're right here, let's talk to Juliana quick.
I can't stop worrying about the dream sketch. What if it...
Let's not look at that too long.
Don't think I didn't see what Heelguard sent me today. You really do have a magic touch. Clients always want clothes. They never want to scrub the mildew.
We've got food and supplies. Juliana will keep us safe.
If you say so.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Oh, sorry, hun. I'm on my break. Sorry, envoy. No heroes discount. Looking still free.
Yeah, I know I have equipment available for upgrade.
That's the apothecary.
Huh. Aren't you the outlander who died in the streets? How are you... Gah, it doesn't matter.
You've got to help. He's gonna hurt me again.
Everyone take a deep breath. No one is hurting anyone else today.
If I can't help it.
You seem to like beating up on little guys. Want to take a run at me?
Listen to me, dead man. What happens here does not concern you. Walk away.
Are you in league with the rebels who killed me?
You Adirans always think everyone's out to get you. If I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead already. This is getting tiresome. I wasn't really gonna hurt the apothecary, but I'm really, really gonna hurt you.
Well, I'm gonna feed your soul to my imp. How's that sound?
Bullshit. I don't see any imp. And besides, they don't eat souls. Do they?
Stick around. Find out for yourself.
Hey, boss, maybe we shouldn't. Fighting a godlike seems wrong somehow.
I knew you'd gone soft. We'll settle this as soon as I'm done here.
Here they come. Take your pants off.
Hold it, you
That's one's mine.
Always like even in the odds.
Yeah.
There you are, swine. This time, you're gonna stay.
Oh, he's frozen nice. And let's see what single target spells do I got? Here we go. Of course he interrupted that, damn it.
I can't believe they're dead.
Whew.
It's over. Another win, but who's counting?
Alright, before I talk to you, let's... It seems to be everyone. Someone died up here. Must have been one of my companions. Considering it's pile of ash, I'm guessing it's Kai.
Envoy, thank you for dealing with those miscreants. There's a plague on these streets, and they are a symptom.
A gang of bullies shaking down honest folk? Seems more like the cause to me.
It's no more dangerous here than anywhere else. It's just that monsters here have knives instead of fangs.
You even killed Thala, the biggest, baddest of them all. The Sparrowhawks are gonna come after you.
Not if they know what's good for them.
They don't. That's the problem. You don't have to come to my defense. No one sticks their neck out for anyone in these parts.
What can you tell me about this?
Poison? Let me take a look. Wait, I recognize that from my wares. It's oil distilled from Santa Torre, a berry native to the Living Lands.
Marish Kai, what do you know about St. Torre?
Just that it's supposed to act quickly, and that you shouldn't mess with it if you don't know what you're doing.
So don't, under any circumstances, mix it up with moonberries.
And before you ask, I can't tell you who bought the poison. If word got around that I was ratting my clients out to the Adherents, it'd be the end of me.
I risk my life for you. Tell me and we'll call it even.
I hate carrying a debt. Just don't tell anyone you learned it from me. The truth is, I never saw the customer's face. They wore a hood. A monk's cowl, I believe. But I can tell you that Santa Torre is used in religious rituals. Prophets and seers will do anything to leave their bodies.
Anything else you won't like if you discover you're holding out on me?
I have nothing to hide. Not anymore.
Okay.
Just talking to you has put me at odds with Paradis. I have no wish to be at odds with Adir as well.
Fair enough.
If you want mystic types, you want to go visit the Temple of Andra. Probably the only reason you'd want to go there.
On the other hand, Claviger Amond was cozy with plenty of mystics and oddballs. We could check out his estate for clues.
Go past the Hightown Gate to the north, then follow the road eastward until you reach the statue of Andra.
Can you tell me anything about the rebels?
Look, most Paradisans don't like the Adherents. We've been here for generations, and we knew how to handle our own. Adir changed that, and not for the better. Some of us have been more wronged by Adir than others. Well, wronged by the Steel Garrote. They're a minority of Paradisans, but they're willing to kill to strike back at Adir, even at an Imperial envoy.
Careful where you say that. The last thing Paradis needs is a Adiran panic.
I hope that I've been able to assist you in some small way. Good luck in your investigation, Envoy.
So we're going to the temple to find a mystic to ask about the poison. Not what I imagine my day would be like.
Let's search the estate first. Nothing here? Oh well. Alright, let's go. Actually, I believe it's this way around. Oh, and I believe now all the hawks in this area are hostile to me. Well, yeah, let's clean this place up before... I'll come back another time. I don't want to really go around trying to find a way around. What we got up here? An egg? Some wine. Some spoiled food. More eggs. leather caress, common, yeah. Kai, you burn that for me? This should take care of them. That all of them? Any more want to spawn?
That was fun.
Doesn't look like it. There we go. Let's find that. Merchant's Journal. I used to get wagons of ore from Sovereign Port every month. Now, a year of silence. Either the mine dried up or something happened to the settlement. Either way, I can't stay in business like this. Turns out I'm not the only one getting nervous. A lot of outposts inland have gone quiet. Plague, disappearances, creatures gone mad. Everyone heard the rumors, but no one's got answers. This can't go on. We rely on each other for essentials. Unless something changes, we're all gonna die here.
That's another piece of that Woodaka totem.
Nice. Unbar the door. Oh, they're both in Hightown, okay. Okay, let's search the estate. That was good. Always fun to see the doomsayers.
There's a joke about Paradise's government in here somewhere.
What, the rundown crappy street area? It's called the governing district, or what was that again? Alright.
Shame a perfectly good house has to sit around empty. Well, that didn't take long.
You the butler? Where are you running off to? Hey!
Really? Looting the Clavage's house? And the Atirans do nothing to help?
Huh. Means I'm probably gonna find resistance in there, aren't I?
Stop right there. Don't mess with us.
Be here.
I'm sick.
It's time to rally.
I couldn't get the potion off in time. You guys really hurt, you know that? Come here. Alright.
Everyone okay?
Alright, let's see.
One moment.
Okay. What's this? That's the... oh, what do we get here? Saints War Part 2 Invasion. Woden personally led many of the battles during the war, exhibiting extraordinary supernatural powers. He seemed virtually untouchable in the battlefield, able to burn or even disintegrate his enemies with a beam of blinding white light. With the god on his side and possibility, as some said, inhabiting him, he was thought to be indestructible. It appears that he may have been until the Battle of Halgot Citadel. Neither the Direward knew they would lose the war if they could not at least slow Wade went down. Engineers, priests, and Megan, and a few others working in secret, some say with Magrin's direct help, developed a weapon they hoped would be able to stop the god. 12 in diameter, filled with various chemicals and magical explosives. The bomb was rolled under Evan Dyer Bridge. Part of the foundation was excavated in order to allow them to embed the bomb in the bridge itself, ensuring its total concealment. 12 Dwyer wooden men and women volunteered to stage the ambush at the bridge to keep Walden on it until the bomb could be detonated. The battle was short, bloody, and ultimately final. The Dozen, as they came to be known, were able to lay Walden on the bridge. The bomb detonated, killing Walden. And 4 Derwoodian volunteers still alive at the time, and over 50 Red Siren soldiers marching on the front lines with Woden. Or Wadewin. It was at that moment the Saints' War ended. The remaining Ritzian force were easy to rout, even though they had more than enough men and equipment to finish the siege. Their leader, previously thought invincible, had just vanished in the rain and metal of the stone. Panic set in. The Dryerwoodian troops sent them away with ease. From that point on, the bomb was known by the name Godhammer. It even worked in ways into everyday conversation. As sure as Godhammer ended the Saints' War came to be standard phrase to express unequivocal certainty. Less certain is the fate of Erithos, who has not spoken to his followers since the explosion of the bomb and is presumed by most to be dead. Lest some concerned citizen express their worries to other more industrious think they could reproduce the results, the author would put the thoughts from your head. Since the time, there have never been another documented explosion of such magnitude. The efforts to locate the engineers and clergy responsible for the bomb have been entirely fruitless. Godhammer was a unique, fortuitous occurrence. It will never be seen again without divine intervention. Ambassador Hagen promised that all he wants is diplomatic relations with the Living Lands, but Inquisitor Lodrin, she wants a gallows, public executions, secret interrogations. I don't know what to make of our new guest. Some days I feel like a stranger in my own city.
I'm starting to see why Aemond was going gray all of a sudden. If there's anything worth finding, it'll be in here.
White rice wine, some fruitful wine. stuff to break down. Some sausage, cheese, more rice wine.
Cozy.
Wait, hold on. Something highlighted. Oh, yep. Merc Brew. Third entry. According to Hildegard, it's in our best interest to force the Animancers out of Paradise, so science offends the gods, and so forth. Promise security, stability, and law in exchange for this boon. When I visited the Animancers, I found them already packing equipment in wagons bound for Fior. I wondered what they knew that I don't. These noble rats who flee a sinking ship. Glenfarthing customs can seem primitive and unsophisticated to some, but all the customs begin a ritual or superstition, so why should theirs be considered less than any other? If they are examined closely, Glenfarthing's celebrations stem from deep and rich culture and all ties into their history in a significant way. The Festival of the Ancients. The Festival of the Ancients during spring dawn and in the time and during spring dawn and is a time to celebrate Glanfanthin's settling in Glanfath. It is a simple 3-day ceremony that is mostly centered around feasts. These feasts are set up around the ruins scattered through the Glanfath. Excuse me. Wreaths made from tree branches and flowers are placed at the ruins, and prayers are said to the gods, thanking them for health and prosperity. The cleansing. The cleansing started as a protest, recreating the hardships wrought upon the Glenfanthins by Adarian colonists when they started settling in Dryerwood. It has morphed over the years and is now used more as a game mixed with teaching tool to inform Gletharans of the history of their people. The cleansing takes place on New Year and Mid-Year and now acts as a metaphor for real events instead of the recreations of the events themselves. Certain effigies are placed throughout the forest, hollow clay shells filled with sweets and gifts. The children then search the woods for effigies and destroy them, cleansing the forest so the Glefarthins can move in and occupy the area. After the area has been cleared, they gather for a celebration feast where the elders tell the young members the true story of the people's history. Holiday of the Black Tree, a combination of day of remembrance and celebratory feast. The Holiday of the Black Tree is held on the second day of autumn falling, when the trees are still colorful but losing their leaves and the land is becoming cold and dark. Glanfathins used the day to tell the story of the War of the Black Tree and remembered those who were lost. During the morning, the adults hang elaborate garlands from the tree branches, and the garlands are made from red, orange, and yellow flowers that represent the flames that swept through the forest of Glanfath, destroying everything in their path. After a morning of fasting and reflection, the children are set to run through the trees, tearing down the garlands and bring them back to the feast, decorating the tables with wildflowers, turning the horror of war into something beautiful. And they eat, cheering the peace they now have with the Drywoodian people and toast to many more years of peace to come. Also of note in Glathland culture is the abundance of traveling of traveling customs. Being a semi-nomadic people, they practice customs ensuring their safety while on the move. Traveling customs. You're taking a quick trip, purchase a gift for someone you are visiting, and leave it at their home. If something important is left undone, such as giving a gift to a loved one, you will always return to finish the task. If you are taking a longer trip, leave remembrance of your trip, no matter how well you know the road. Drop some pebbles along the way or tie a ribbon to the tree branches. Mark your path away and you'll always have a safe, easy trip back. Evil spirits and dangerous creatures are everywhere in our world. If you decorate your cart with masks, they will scare away any danger that might otherwise approach. But you must decorate your cart anew every trim, or the evil won't be fooled by your ruse. Apparently, there's growing rebellion in Paradise. My own people defy the Adirians. They rally from the shadows and sharpen their blades in the name of independence. Good, I taught them well. Can't not openly support them, but I have my ways. Down a chain of clerics and agents, I have passed keys to our cistern. The door is in the Temple of Andra, a fitting sanctuary that they use their hideout to advantage. I would hold on to the spare. Time may come when I have to warn the resistance or join them myself.
Well, there you have it.
So, Claviger Amon not only knew about the rebels, he also gave them access to a hideout in the cistern.
Sounds like he wasn't fond of the Adirians either.
He's not the only one, as you've seen firsthand. Look, everyone who settles in the Living Lands comes from somewhere, but until recently, those settlers have been people, not nations. But when Adir built an embassy and filled it with dignitaries and troops, some started to worry that your laws and governors would follow.
Right, all of that. Don't forget why we're here. You hired me to hunt the rebels down, and now we know where they are. The cistern beneath the Temple of Andra. Good place for a hidden base. It sits just below the city, where the people and patrols will never look.
Something tells me these rebels won't go quietly.
Maybe we should bring reinforcements. I bet Heelguard would be happy to spare some of his guards, if we ask nicely.
They'd only slow us down. Besides, any fighting we do in the cistern will be close quarters.
On to the Temple of Andra, then. It's east of here, just across the canal, in the plaza with the big statue.
Right. After you.
Seems to be everything. Oh, wait. Saints' War. There is much debate with historians to when the Saints' War really began. It is widely accepted the event that instigated it was a sanctuary flight of Redican citizens to the Drywood. This led to direct strife between the two nations that escalated in the Battle of the Saints' War. But it is the author's opinion the war truly started many years before, after the miracle of Vernant Valas, as it came to be known. Waidwin quickly gathered followers, drawn to the stories of Iotha's miraculous prophet. His power grew. Eventually, Waidwin had gained enough support that he confronted the imperial governor. Assisted by a collection of knights and nobles who had been swayed to his cause, he marched on the capital city. The governor was allowed to live, but was forced to abdicate power and leave the colony. This was not from any understanding or easy acquittance from the governor, but because of what happened when Waidwin entered the governor's palace. As Waidwin approached the governor, according to accounts, his body turned into something that was no longer human. His flesh became luminescent, and his head transformed into pure, blinding light. Other accounts suggest that Waidwin had become a being of light at an earlier time, when he was within the public square. The outcome of the visit to the palace tower is uncontested. The governor, knowing there was no way he could oppose an avatar Atheos relinquished power. The people then asked Edwin to lead the colony. He accepted, earning him the name Divine King of Red Sea. Waidwin's rule was virtuous and uncontested. Initially, this was because everyone was awed by God had chosen to manifest him and lead his people. His change of Woodwinds began punishing the allies of the old empire and the poison of the world, what he considered corrupt churches or church leaders of Aethos. Scrutiny escalated, and soon worshippers of Aethos were also being punished for mere perceptions of heresy. Members of other religions were also added to the list of the prosecuted for following different faiths. This caused large segments of the population to flee Rudicus to Drywood, begging for sanctuary. This caused strife between the new nation. The people of the Drywoods knew that they could not sustain explosive population growth if Woodwin's rule were to continue unchecked. They also feared that his eyes would turn from Rekria's lands and land them next on the and land on them next if nothing was done. That's exactly what ultimately happened. An open war broke out as Woodwinds moved to spread the domination into the lands of Drywood. Go, that should help supplement my my softwood needs.
Ugh, what sweaty adherent beast used my chair?
Gods, what a mess.
Fresh from the finest distilleries in Thirdmore. The only potion known to protect against the plague.
Okay.
This is where the assassins are hiding.
Yep, I read that already.
Hail and well met. The Temple of Andra is open to all. Oh, good to see you again. I take it you're here on official business.
You seen anyone suspicious in the neighborhood lately?
Thankfully, no. Only the faithful and the devout come through here. Always have and always will.
When's my last autosave? Yeah, let's try it, yeah. Pretty sure I have something that will increase. Right, let's break this down, break that down. I didn't put my boots back on. Kith Warden, stash that camp. Okay, let's map. travel to the camp so I can access my stash. I believe if I have something in there that'll increase my perception by 1. Resolve, resistance, dexterity. No, I thought I had something for perception. Carry capacity, health, stamina, damage resist. Well, guess not. Oh well. Apparently missed the history of the living lands too. It'll save me a roundabout run.
Do not succumb to fear, friends. It's against this.
This is where the assassins are hiding.
Hail and what? Oh, I.
Know anything about the rebels in Paradise?
Only rumors, of course. People say they're outlaws blending in with honest citizens, killers and cut purses of the lowest sort. But why ask me about the... Wait, you're not implying that I'm involved with that lot, are you?
Drop the act. I already know the Clevenger gave you a key to the cistern.
Shit. Let me guess. He wrote it all down? The Claviger was far too trusting. Probably what got him killed. All right. If you're willing to listen, then I'm willing to talk.
Finally, some progress.
Yes, I'm with the Resistance. We have a responsibility to defy your empire, to protect our way of life. For some of us, that means hiding in plain sight, passing messages between contacts, playing a role. For others, it's kill or be killed.
I could be sympathetic to your cause if I knew more about it.
Ask me anything you like, but be warned. You aren't ready for the answers.
What does the Resistance want?
To be left alone. Paradise was fine without Adir. Your empire inserted itself where there was no need. You've impoverished us, turned my brothers and sisters into beggars, squatting outside our own city walls.
Why target me? The city is full of adherents.
None of them are the Emperor's plaything. You must be special, and not in a good way.
Alright, which one of you had me killed?
Eagwolf. A powerful man, but not in the way Adir understands power. When he knocks an arrow, the gods hold their breath. If you think you can reason with him, don't bother. You have nothing he wants. I have nothing more to say to you. If you're so eager to die again, the one you want is downstairs in the cistern. No doubt sharpening his blade. The door is on the wall to your left.
Forget it then. You're free to leave.
You're letting me go? Just like that? Not that I'm complaining.
Well, that's over. How about we go deal with the Nimdude who killed you?
Grenade Smuggler's Report. It was a close call today. Varwoon made it into the city with no issues. The Aryan envoy of all people looked over the cart, but neither found nothing of note or chose not to tell their countrymen about it for some reason. That seems ridiculous, so I'm sure they must have just missed the goods. Make sure pay our contact a little extra. She did good work.
Stale air, thick darkness, and a smell that peels your eyes back. Reminds me of home.
No, I just skipped a bit.
Rebels ahead. Stay alert.
Let's show
Here we go.
These people aren't trained assassins. They're just regular people with weapons.
They're trying to kill us. What else do you need to know?
True, but that was too close. What about that way? I'm surprised that's just a quick way back. Yeah, I need a lower cistern key.
Watch out. Pressure plates on the floor.
Oh? Oh. Oh, ow. Okay, I backed into that one of those.
If you want help
Burn
running
it.
through that, just say the word.
I'm sick.
Yep, and that's how you deal with that.
Not bad, Mario.
Spider legs. Where are you at? A vessel bone. Blocked off. No, nothing.
You know what that web means.
It means you burn it.
Be ready.
More Blessed Day spiders.
Get rid of those.
Coming in hot.
Behind me. There we go. Oh, wait. Oh, goody. There we go.
What about these spiders? Are they threatening enough for you?
The spiders are just trying to survive. Maybe these people are too.
Gods. Not this sucker.
Sense of Marius lecture coming.
Throwables. Probably much more than I needed to use, but just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Don't break. Lower cistern key.
Double doors we saw on the way here.
Remember that time in Emerald Stair? You let that thief take all our supplies.
He was starving. I wasn't gonna kill a man over a few rations.
We needed our supplies. We almost died without them.
True.
You let your heart get in the way of your survival.
When did you become a poet?
Just blessed day now. Like it?
Still needs work.
No? Oh, that's one of those freezable grates, though. Put on just some ordinary grenades for now. What do we got here? Wolf's log. What have I done? I made a terrible mistake. Either the prophecy was wrong or I misunderstood. Either way, I am damned. I have to hide this journal, scatter it in the sewers where even the gods cannot find the evidence of my guilt. Forgive me, Zernia. Huh.
Why would you waste time building a deadly trap when a simple no-entry sign would suffice?
What's up? Who it is? This one's fun.
Over there, 11. Probably disables the blades, for all the good it does from here.
Yeah.
Show yourself.
You take lead.
Down you.
You're a tough guy, aren't ya? You stop interrupting my spell. There. Tough one. Oh, there you are. I didn't see you there.
Didn't think that one through, did he?
Good work.
You're still mad about that thief, but we made it back to town, even without our supplies.
Not the blessed day point. You see a threat, you stop that threat. You don't give it your rations.
You think everyone's out to get you. This is why you don't have more friends.
Nothing. Huh.
Eyes open.
I heard something.
You're not getting away. Watch the left.
Ow, rude. Shoot, stop interrupting my spell casting. Well, that's Kai I'm trying to hit. Alright, let's see. Oh, there's another log must have been there somewhere. Now my sources tell me the envoy is a godlike. This changes everything. The prophecy saw a godlike will come, the living lands and death will travel in their wake. We must act now and halt destiny in its tracks, even if I must spill godlike blood. see.
So, taking us down?
Someone's up ahead.
I'm gonna hit that.
What was that?
Ooh, I really like this spell. Okay.
I would have sent that thief on his way without our blessed day supplies.
Then he would have died. How do you know? We did.
Don't fall. Here.
I should be out there. You always leave me behind.
Right behind you.
You're not getting away.
Oh, she saw me. I need like 1 or 2 more sneak attacks for the achievement.
Get ready. My money says our assassin's on the other side of that door.
So it is true. You're alive. You're truly alive.
Spoken like an assassin who's confident in his work.
Well, how could this be? I killed you.
Apparently I have unfinished business.
The whims of the gods are a mystery to us both. Stay your weapon, please. Hear me. Let me speak for Paradise. Then you can decide if we part as friend or as foe.
Speak then.
Envoy, I killed you because the people of Paradise have suffered under the boot of Adir.
Not my boot. Why attack me and not the ambassador?
Because it was not the ambassador's face that appeared to me in a dream, but yours.
Come again?
Your face was as clear in my mind as it appears to me now. You were standing under the sign of Adir. Your feet became roots and reached deep into the soil, wrapping round Ardra in the darkness.
In truth, I have had visions when I touched Audra in the Living Lands.
Dreams, visions, they can be confusing things. I took the vision as a call to kill you in the hopes that I might stop Adir from conquering this land.
Clearly, you've never heard of a self-fulfilling prophecy before.
Perhaps higher education would have given me pause. Stay by hand. Perhaps not. I cannot imagine what the gods want for us, but you are at the center of it. The proof stands before me.
There's definitely something. It's written all over your face.
The only thing standing before us is a bunch of well-armed people. Let's take this slow. No sudden movements.
The gods aren't finished with you yet.
What happens
You
now?
tell me, godlike. You have me cornered, but I will not hesitate to defend myself. Cowardice is not our way. My fate is in your hands. Do with it what you will.
Eloy told me what the Steel Garrote have done to the people of Paradise. For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
If you take nothing else from this, remember that the cruelty of the Steel Garrote has no end. The Deerans have bought most of the property in Paradise, pushed out many of the families. You installed yourselves at Fort Northreach to police trade and fishing with no authority. Ardea now controls the import of all foreign goods, forcing Paradisans to deal with your people to get them.
That may not be the whole story, but it's part of it.
Such dealings are regulated through Aderan contracts, contracts that are both deceptive and manipulative. When Paradisans dare to challenge these contracts, we're punished by the Steel Garrote. Whatever wrong I've committed against you, I will not apologize for striking back at Ardea.
Hi, Marius.
Normally, I'd say if someone tries to kill you once, don't give them a chance to do it again. But I think he's actually come around to something. It's rare to see a real change of heart. Rarer still to have the opportunity to give someone a second chance. Don't squander it.
If you spare him, he'll just kill you again. I doubt you'll get a second chance. Not a huge fan of cold-blooded murder. We survive by removing threats, and this guy is a threat.
If you're guided by the hearts of your companions, then they too serve the gods.
Take your people and leave before I change my mind.
You mean it? You have no thirst for vengeance, no righteous desire for justice.
Not the path I'd take, but hey, I only get to die once.
You're really letting us go?
Quarrel was never with me. Why make a bad situation worse?
At least we agree on that much. Thank you, Envoy. If our paths are meant to cross again, let it be in peace.
Big mistake, Envoy. He killed you once. He'll do it again.
When a warrior acts with honor, we mark the occasion with a gift, and in my case, an apology. Please, accept both.
Free. The hair forgives. The tide ebbs on the placid shore. We learn. We twine.
You know, it's harder to keep you alive if you keep setting free all the people who want to kill you.
Relax, Marius. If he wanted the Envoy dead, I doubt he'd send us away with presents. Impressive. I'm starting to see why your Emperor trusts you.
Don't bother going back the way you came. Between the pillars to the right of the stairs. That's right. One more thing. Thanks. We were wrong about you. Adirans are true to their word, usually to a fault.
What about the Inquisitor? You really think she backed out?
Oh, she's gonna kill us. Never doubt it. But we'll give her a chase shield.
Let's see. Guys want to talk. Alright, let's give me a sec. Anything else to loot in here? Doesn't look like it. Got some scan bone. Coin, unsent correspondence. Clever Edmund, your help has not gone unnoticed and is appreciated, but there is so much more to be done. The Adirans will not stop until they have taken control of every last inch of Paradise, if not the entirety of the living lands. We do need more to stand against them, more resources, more arms, more armor, most importantly, more people. I urge you to meet with me in person. Between my rebels, your militia, there's no doubt in my mind that we can push those Imperials from their home. And I doubt that. Imperials are Adrian Empire are quite vast. Northern Sister of Paradise is well past time to push these Adirn dogs out of the living land, out of our home. It is only through our bravery and might that our children and their children may live freely instead of being ground down beneath the heel of Adir. Fear not death, for it is a kinder fate. For it is a kinder fate than subjugation, and only through spilled blood will we remain independent for the empire that cares nothing for us.
Hopefully you made an ally here today, Envoy.
We'll definitely be seeing them again. You all but guaranteed that.
Unfortunately, I don't think your friends at the embassy will be happy about this.
I never really expect them to be happy about anything. I have some thoughts, Envoy. Let's talk about it at camp.
I don't really care if they're happy or not. I'm here to end the Dream Scourge. I don't care about AD or anyone else, or any of the else. I'm here to end the Dream Scourge and find out what's calling me here. Adir can go stuff it. Alright, let's return to the... Why is this highlighted?
The less time we spend staring at Gallowayne, the better.
Okay.
With all due respect, Captain, you have no jurisdiction over the Paradise Militia.
This building is Adirn property. Your people have no business being here.
I understand.
Ah, the Emperor's envoy. I am Alfir, a captain in the Steel Garrote under...
You seem to be taking your rank quite seriously.
How else should one take... This sergeant of the Paradise Militia refuses to discipline his people about lingering near our... A less charitable woman might suppose that their loitering is intended to aggravate us.
Be reasonable. My militia need to pass this way to go to and from the East Gate. What are they supposed to do? Walk all the way down to the market entrance just to make you feel better?
Does seem impractical, Captain Alfair.
They do more than simply walk by. They linger here, drinking and talking.
Look, none of us are professional soldiers. We're militia. We all have other jobs to get back to. Of course, we'll stop to have a drink and a laugh with our friends on our way to and from the gate. If the Steel Garrote want to look down their noses at us for our lack of discipline, that's fine. Just stop complaining that we don't take everything as seriously as you joyless lot.
See? This is what I'm talking about. Antagonism, plain and simple.
Captain Alfar, just ignore the militia. The sergeant has his job and you have yours.
Very well, Envoy. Though it would be easier to do my job if there were fewer distractions.
Make do.
I suppose you'll have to rely on that famous Adirn discipline then. Many thanks, Envoy.
Welcome, Envoy. You look well. They call them the Living Lands, but things die a lot around here.
We seek your leadership here, O Queen, and your guidance. Envoy, we're going to do great things here.
I somehow doubt that.
This is the Shrine to Barret, god of death. Not sure which version of them this is.
Oh? Interesting. Someone up there who wants to fight. This is gonna hurt. When you survived, Yam? When you tried to ambush me earlier?
That's one for us.
Okay. Off to the ambassador.
Tell me you brought good news. Oh, Envoy, you return. And you brought a friend. Ambassador Heelguard, at your service.
Always nice to meet an Adiran who isn't trying to goad me into a fight.
What of these rebels? The streets are full of rumors, but your word is the only one I trust.
I'm afraid the assassins got away from us.
What? How could you let this happen?
Responsibility is mine.
You're damn right it is. We needed to answer this challenge with blood. Don't you see what this will do to our credibility? Thanks to you, these rebels will continue to undermine our work in the Living Lands without resistance or fear.
Good.
Worse still, now
I hate
everyone knows our
colonialism.
flank is exposed. Oh my gods, Ludwig is going to eat us alive.
If Ludwig raises a fuss, let me do the talking.
She will do the talking. The best we can do is grovel.
She will die again.
Person.
There's nothing to be done. All we can do is brace for the inevitable, though it may damn us in the end.
Don't forget why I'm here, the Dream Scourge.
Yes, that. I'm sending you to Fior Messiverno, a community of Valian expatriates deep in Emerald Stair. The Animancers may have some knowledge of the Dream Scourge already. Learn whatever you can from them.
It's been years since I learned the basic principles of animancy. Refresh my memory.
Animancers draw power from the spirit world. Their dark research can twist, break, even corrupt the very soul. The Empire has no tolerance for Animancers, and with good reason. Their work is dangerous, heretical.
Surprised you to work with them.
Well, you know what they say about the enemy of my enemy? Animancers may be an unpredictable sort, but they are scholars and keenly aware of their environment. Make no mistake, the Empire's at war with the Dream Scourge, and we need allies on our side.
How does one do animancy exactly?
Animancers tinker on souls using clever inventions and ancient pillars of Ardra, siphoning essence like honey from a hive. They want to change reality as we know it, make us live longer, or cause barren lands to grow. For all I know, they might be onto something. Or, with a single miscalculation, They might destroy us all.
Animacy sounds like a promising field of study, though.
You're right to be curious. After all, animancy is the study of existence itself. Just don't get too curious. It won't reflect well on you in the Empire. If you have any further questions before I dispatch you to Emerald Stair, now would be the time.
Where does Fior fit in with the Dream Scourge?
My sources tell me the Dream Scourge is a plague of the soul, and souls are their trade. If we have anything in common with animancers, it's a shared interest in curing the Dream Scourge.
What do you expect to find there?
Nothing more. We need all the help we can get, even if it means appealing to animancers. I believe that covers everything. Governor Vidaro will be your first point of contact. I'm told he's barely keeping the community in order. Seek him out if you need direction. Good hunting, Envoy.
Ilgard. Why is it that whenever I hear your name, it's because you've disgraced the Empire?
No, strangling light. Keep her away.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Inquisitor Ludwig, so kind of you to join us.
While you brood over the Dream Scourge, this island is coming apart at the seams.
Stay your wrath. Allow me to present the Adiran Envoy, dispatched by the Emperor himself, to aid us in our time of need.
Inquisitor Ludwig, your reputation precedes you.
As does yours. Let me deal with him, and I will get back to you shortly. I can't believe you troubled the Emperor to send an envoy. Haven't you done enough to flaunt your incompetence?
Under the circumstances, I thought it might be...
Silence. You busy yourself with the Dream Scourge. A mere fever and chills, leaving the real work to me.
To experience the horror of the Dream Scourge firsthand, we must stop it before it spreads.
Even if that were to happen, the living will replace the dead. We will ship them in by the hundreds to fill the empty houses.
Oh, gods, Ludwig.
I have scoured this island and faced the truths from which you cower. The Living Lands is on the brink of total collapse, and you have ignored the discontent in your own city. Now, the Envoy's killer roams free, unpunished, spreading word of our ineptitude.
The blame is mine, and mine alone.
He's got more backbone than I would have thought.
We should be better than this. Leading by example. This island has seen nothing but us at our weakest. What say you?
Maybe these problems exist because the Living Land doesn't want us here.
What these people want is irrelevant when we can give them what they need to survive.
If you're done eviscerating me, you'll be interested to learn I'm sending the envoy to the Animancers of Emerald Stair.
You are ridiculous. Emerald Stair is under assault by the very wilderness it claims to have conquered. The Animancers cling to pride and tradition even as they dig their own graves.
I can study the animancers, observe them in their environment.
That might do us some good, or it might lead you nowhere. I can't take the chance.
Well, I don't answer to you.
Clearly, I've wasted my time with you, Ambassador. From now on, I will break the frontier on my own terms. You are free to disagree with my methods, but you cannot stop me. As for you, Envoy, farewell.
She is going to be a problem.
Oh, most certainly. You didn't have to take the blame for me. I appreciate it.
Oh, that was nothing. Ludwig already despises me. You deserve a sporting chance to avoid her wrath. Put her out of your mind. The Dream Scourge is more than enough for us to chew on, at least for now. Since Liviana gave you a clean bill of health, you're officially cleared to leave for Emerald Stair. Fair warning, Animancers and Adirians don't mix well. Their kind can be a tad unhinged.
I know the type. We don't get out much.
At least you'll have that in common, if nothing else.
They're a fun bunch. Crazy, but fun.
Wonderful. Now I have to keep a tight grip on my soul on top of everything else.
Should you cross paths with Ludwig, well, try not to. I have no idea what's gotten into her. Safe travels. I'm told Emerald Stair is beautiful this time of year.
We're done here. We can get to Emerald Stair in no time if we leave.
Bounce between enemies environments 6 times.
If we leave
Let's
now.
upgrade that. Alright, let's talk to people in the... No, let's wait. Now let's talk to people in camp first.
It's not every day you get to deal with the person who killed you. And since you set them free, you get to deal with them again sometime in the future.
Not the Scots. Killing for revenge is not my way.
That's interesting. Good to know you're the forgiving sort. Anyway, it doesn't matter what I think. You found the assassin, and you're still alive, which means well done, Marius. Now you're looking towards Emerald Stair. Whole other kind of deadly out there.
Thinking of coming... Oh yes, too bad I won't have an expert dwarven hunter and explorer as my guide.
Right, too bad. Yeah, I mean, I could come with you though. I'm not currently engaged anywhere else.
Good to have you along, Marius.
Good to be here. We've got a bit of a walk ahead of us. You might want to get some rest. Anyway. You too. Fior Messiverno, huh? Guess if you're looking for an animancer, that's the place to go.
Fior was settled with the finest animancer in Vale. If anyone can help, it's them.
I don't know about all that. They decided to settle in a hostile forest and use animancy to conquer it. We might get there and find that these people aren't as ready and willing to help you as you hope they are.
Worth a try.
Yeah. Looking forward to dragging you people through Emerald Stair, on the distant chance Fjord will be feeling generous with their time. I've led a few people there from Paradise or Thirdborn, and I've almost lost someone on every trip.
Someone slipping?
I said, almost.
Thankful for your expertise.
Just glad I can help. Right, changing the subject. Thanks for talking.
That's all from him. What about you?
Not everyone warrants an assassination attempt, you know. You should be flattered.
Should I be offended he changed his mind?
Not at all. He was even more in awe of you when we found him in the cistern. And you really had him at a loss when you let him go. Me too, for that matter. Don't get me wrong, I'm impressed. Not many in your position would have let him walk away.
You think I made a
I
mistake?
think the Living Lands has a way of wringing the tenderness out of those who survive it. Even though most of us come here looking for a second chance, it's rare that we offer one. Why'd you do it?
Mercy, I try not to shed blood unless I have to.
That's admirable. I'm afraid we haven't seen the last of this conflict, though. Eagwolf isn't the only hothead in the Living Lands, and he's certainly not the only one with his hackles up about all you Adira newcomers. And Ludwig and the Steel Garrote are only making matters worse.
Inquisitor Ludwig's approach seems excessive.
You're far from the only one to say so. Your ambassador and the rest of the Adiran forces have been dragging the frontier, kicking and screaming towards order and civilization. All the things that half of us moved here to escape. Then, one day, Ludwig and the Steel Garrote show up to reinforce the Adiran presence, and they're as harsh as Wodika herself.
Are you suggesting that Adair enlists them to do the dirty work, or that they're going rogue?
Could be both. Judging from that meeting, Ambassador Hilgard and Ludwig don't see eye to eye. I'm afraid that means trouble on the horizon, especially if Ludwig starts operating around him.
That does worry me too.
Nice to know I'm in good company.
Something on your mind?
Just thinking about Claviger Amon. I let him down. I've let a few people down over the years. But I did promise someone once that I'd do my part to look after all of us riffraff who've made a home here. My best chance of doing that is helping you investigate this plague and keep a lid on tensions. And, hopefully, fend off any future assassination attempts.
Good for the company.
Feelings mutual. It's nice to share a campfire again. I think that's enough doom and gloom for one night, don't you? Sleep easy, Envoy. As best you can.
That's all.
Night, Envoy.
Alright. You know what? Let's
You should keep an eye.
take a look at some of the things I can do.
Eye on that scrape on your arm. You don't want it to get infected.
Yeah, I should definitely have broken down those greater element tomes. let's see.
It barely even counts as a scrape.
Let's clean up my inventory a bit. Let's keep the stuff that I might. These don't weigh anything, so I'm not entirely worried about that.
That's the worst kind of flesh wounds. Lots of open skin contact. Snapflies like the peeled skin. Fog mites love the blood.
I'm sure it's nothing to worry about.
I have some tanglewort in my pack. That should clear it right up.
Okay. If you insist.
You can... Thank me later. That's what I'm here for.
Okay.
Haze, mirrors, we have touched something like your dreams before.
You feel like home somehow. Why do you appear when I sleep?
The leaf remembers the stem. We have questions. We must know. A killer freed. A predator returned to the woods. You bled and forgave. Why? Should he not suffer for your pain?
Someone has to break the cycle of bloodshed.
Compassion for the snake. He killed our beloved. Our weeds tangled. This is not our way. A dam broke. We wept in the dark when your soul slipped away. We feared for you, felt your agony. We could not forgive.
Enough. Let it go.
Petals disperse on the wind. Wake now. We have tending to do.
Alright, let's... let's call it for now. Tomorrow, let's head to... I'm gonna stream again on Saturday. More Avowed. Then we'll call it there. And then we'll head into the Emerald Stair. Alright. Thanks everyone who showed up. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all, I guess, Saturday then. Goodbye.